Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to give the broadcast a big thumbs up, and share because it makes it more likely that other folks will know that we're here. So that way our voice is elevated. How many of you all know that we're the counter voice to the voice of mainstream media because we speak for issues that matter to you? Thank you so very much. And don't forget to download our app also. Okay, family? Thank you so much, family. You all know that I have been known over quite a bit of period of time of covering hearings in the United States Foreign Affairs committees. Yes, family, I want to remind you of something that took place a few months ago during one of the United States House of Representatives Foreign Affairs hearing involving Ethiopia, and they brought up Eritrea, and some other African countries, but in this particular instance, they're specifically talking about Ethiopia. I want you to watch these very, very short few second clips on something that this Congressman, Representative James, who is just an absolute disaster, uh, and trying to get all of the bones and biscuits he can possibly get from the powers that shouldn't be. I want you to watch this brief clip.
Russia cultivated closer ties with Ethiopia during the Tigray conflict, which overlapped with its invasion of Ukraine. The more I learn about this, the more I'm growing concerned that the Ethiopian government is not interested in peace and is only interested in the West, the United States in particular, to solve its increasing financial woes. Is that a threat from the Ethiopian government?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have seen that the comments relating to port access have created concerns, not only for the United States, but also for other countries in the region. But I would also note that the Prime Minister has publicly said that efforts to gain access to a port will be done through commercial, peaceful means. And he has done his bit to provide public and private reassurances.
You just acknowledged also credible reports of gross violations of human rights in Amhara and Oromia. Does the department consider this, in addition to the past statements, regardless of how it may have been softened for Western ears? Does this constitute a pattern, and how much should we believe folks who are following in the footsteps of essentially Russia joining and aligning with BRICS?
Well, Mr. Chairman, we are deeply concerned and alarmed by the reports of extrajudicial killings, detentions that are and suffering that is being inflicted upon civilians in both Amhara.
Okay, family, did you hear him link topics that absolutely did not go together and absolutely made no geopolitical sense? Did you all hear? Because you remember, the United States loved them some Ethiopia. The United States loved it when Ethiopia and Eritrea were fighting and beefing real hard, right? And many have credibly speculated that the United States actually was the one that was actually fomenting the fights between Eritrea and Ethiopia and was the hidden hand behind a lot of the drama related to there and the Tigrayan conflict. Yes? I won't go there right now, but I'm going to say this. Notice how he brought up in this exchange with the ambassador, the Ukrainian conflict, overlapped it with tensions with Tigray and Ethiopia, threw friendly relations with Ethiopia and Russia in, and then turned around and threw shade because Ethiopia's relationship with BRICS. Family, jealous. And because the United States has long had a foothold and influence in the goings on of Ethiopia, and a lot of the warfare and drama, they're credibly accused of that. And now that there's any sign that President Afwerki is trying to quell any conflicts and that they're actually trying to work together, they're sitting up here talking about both of them got human rights violations. Both of them a problem. And they threw Russia in the mix and Ethiopia's new relationship with BRICS. Well, what is Ethiopia's relationship with BRICS? For those of you that may have forgotten or don't know, Ethiopia is officially part of the BRICS. BRICS meaning Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Africa's group of emerging economies. That's a global bloc. Well, guess what? For those of you that may or may not know or may have forgotten, Ethiopia is officially a part of BRICS. Yes. Some of the advantages it talks about of Ethiopia's collaboration with BRICS. A professor said it's a corporation. It can improve, it says, connectivity within the country and with neighboring nations, facilitate trade, promote regional integration, and create new economic opportunities. We know that the United States don't want them to increase and have connectivity with the neighboring nations. The United States was desperate to keep a foothold in that Red Sea area. The United States and the West enjoyed causing drama over there in Ethiopia, like I said, with the Tigrayan war and all that stuff, so that it could continue to cause that divide and conquer mess, so that it could make sure that there was not cohesion and fair and fluid trade there in that Red Sea region. We know that Ethiopia, is landlocked in many ways and often has to work with its neighbors, but they wanted to ensure that that didn't happen so that the United States can make sure that they had a relationship over in that geographical area so they can keep a good eye on that region and also continue to exploit it. Talk black to me, somebody, buying through its neighbors. So it's great devastation to the United States and the West that they're actually sitting up here with friendly relations with BRICS, because as you all know, BRICS is made up of mostly global South, or the global majority of nations, which is in opposition to the North, the North, which is made of a slither of the world's population and primarily Europeans. Now, I want you to replay that clip, that part of the hearing, the Foreign Affairs hearing, and you try to make sense of that. You can't make sense out of nonsense, because that absolutely was nonsense. But that's how the West, the United States, seeds and intimates drama by linking Russia to Tigrayan conflict, saying that Ethiopia wants war, and throw Russia in there all at the same time. It's not funny, but it's outrageous. It's not logical. It's nonsensical. And this is how they keep a foothold on the world. But how many of you all know that there's, as I always say, the changing of the gods, the changing of the guards, meaning world leadership and world rulership. And then there's a changing of the goddesses and gods. That means it's a divine shift. And if you want to know a little bit more about how you can do that divine shifting so that you can have authority on earth, beloved, you want to be sure to connect with my free webinar that I have coming up August 8th, what's known as a very auspicious day in the celestial realms, that's known as Lionsgate Portal. Beloved, I'm going to be doing on that same day a powerful webinar offline, free to the world, so I can teach you how to turn your house into headquarters so that your home actually becomes a governmental institution, to where we are together in our individual homes wielding spiritual power so that we can cause justice and equity and prosperity to happen on the planet in the long term by and through us, turning our houses into portals, turning our houses into headquarters. If you want to receive this download, the supernatural information that I channel from the ethers, you don't want to miss it. Go to my website to register for free at VickiPlanet.com. That's VickiPlanet.com. That's VICKI Planet.com. Of course, share the broadcast here on African Diaspora News Channel. I can't wait to see you again.